Good morning. It's Monday. Hope you've had a nice weekend. Let's see what we're going to do some mixed ability Pilates. I'm just going to run through a few things to consider before you do any exercise. So just make sure that you are feeling fit and healthy today, and that you are going to be able to exercise safely. Anyone with osteoporosis or conditions that make your bones liable to, sort of fractures through the spine or the ribs, there are certain exercises you're not going to want to do. They are going to be the exercises that have forward bending and also any sideways rotation or side bending. So I will try and remind you as we go through, when we come across those exercises, you either stop and wait and don't do it, or you do a much limited range of movement. So please exercise responsibly. If you feel sick or dizzy during exercising, then do stop. Okay, that's about it. So just general common sense. Otherwise, I'm not there to see your alignment. I'm going to give you lots of verbal cues, so keep an ear out for those and try and get your alignment right. So then you'll get the best out of your Pilates. Let's get moving. You don't want to hear me waffling on. So we're going to start standing nice and tall with your feet together. We're going to turn the toes out like a ballerina, followed by your heels. And then you're going to find that your feet are hip distance apart, parallel, in line with your knees and hips. And so gently pulling in through those deep stabilizing muscles, your core. We're going to roll onto the balls of the feet and back onto your heels. So nice and controlled. Think about how you're feeling today. We're going to try and do a nice balanced workout. So taking nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Hello to boy, boy again. Hello, boo, boo. Take the weight over onto one side, back onto the other. And again, nice deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. This is your moment to just calm the mind, maybe be aware of how you're feeling, about how your body's moving. Let's bring the weight even over both feet. And we're going to press down through the big toe, the little toe, and the heels. So we get a little lift through the arches of the feet. Keep those knees soft. We're going to do some pelvic tilt. So one hand in front, one hand behind. And imagine that it is a bucket of water. And we're tipping the water out of the back of the bucket and tipping the water out of the front of the bucket. Try not to move through the spine, through the upper spine. We're just mobilizing that lower back and the hips and the pelvis. And then we want to find the point in the middle of those two extremes, and that should give us our nice neutral alignment. So let's grow nice and tall now, out of the crown of the head. So float your head up towards the ceiling. Keep the chin parallel to the floor, really important. You don't want chin floating up towards the ceiling because that just shortens the back of your neck. And draw the chin back so that you can feel those muscles engaging at the back there. Draw the shoulders up towards your ears, press them behind you, and then draw the shoulders down towards your heels, as if you're trying to slide them into the pockets of your jeans. And that's going to open up the collarbones nicely. So drawing those shoulders back and down. I'm going to keep reminding you of that. So draw up the pelvic floor around about 30%, and then we're going to take a breath in. And as you exhale, you pull that belly button in towards your spine. You feel a nice tightening of the deep muscles here across the belly. Hold that contraction while we breathe into the side of the rib cage. So breathe in through the nose. Exhale gently through the mouth. Find that nice engagement here. So we're going to practice our lateral breathing. Breathing here. It might help you to place your fingers on the side of your rib cage so that you can feel those hands expanding as you breathe in. So try to keep the breath from we don't want to just breathe into the shoulders or the upper chest here. We'll do a couple of breaths. So again, just taking that time to focus on the body. In our lovely Pilates posture. Last breath. Let's bring those hands down by your side. Nice pull in through the tummy. Breath in. As you exhale, we're just going to look over one shoulder. Inhale as we come back to the center to look over the other shoulder. So we're now working on movement and breath. So think about E for exhale and E for exert. So we're moving away from the center as we exhale. Inhale back to the center. Let's change it to an ear to shoulder. Breathing out through the mouth, in through the nose, slowing everything down. Last one. We can do some shoulder rolls. Fingertips on your shoulders if you want a little bit more range of movement. So those elbows are circling. Try to draw the elbows back. Get as much range of movement through that shoulder joint as you can. And then we can change the direction. Keeping the spine in neutral as we're doing this, so we're not arching the back as we draw those shoulders, the elbows up and forwards. Last one. Let's bring those hands again down by your side. Hips are going to stay fixed facing the front. It's a breath in. And as you exhale, we pull in through the tummy and rotate around the spine. Again, osteoporosis or any conditions like that, you're going to keep this movement extremely small, just so that you get the engagement of the muscles at the side of the waist. Or the other option is not to do it at all, which is the safest option if you're in any doubt. And let's just free that movement up. And reduce that range of movement so we come back to the front. Feet, knees and hips nicely lined up. Pulling in through the tummy. Again, go as far as is appropriate for you. It's a breath in. And we're going to lengthen through the spine as we side bend. Back to the center. Exhale to lengthen as you side bend. So it's not about how far you can go. It's about just trying to get that space into the gaps between the vertebrae. Let's do one more on each side. Excuse me. Bring the arm up and over. And lengthen through the spine as you side bend. Raise the arm up to increase that stretch. Lovely. So we have mobilized the spine. We're now going to stabilize our Pilates box, which is I'm demonstrating that nice box shape between your shoulder, hip and hip. So keeping that nice and stable, we can do some circles with that foot. So we're either going to circle with a straight leg or we can circle with a bent leg. The movement we are achieving is through that hip joint. So just work with the range of movement that you have available. And we're pulling in through the tummy, pulling up through the pelvic floor to keep nice and stable through the upper body. Let's change the direction. Use the breath to help you. Breathing in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. And try to make sure that your eye line, you're looking ahead of you rather than looking down on the floor, because that's just going to knock your alignment out. Let's leave that leg out behind you now, gently tipping forwards again, thinking about the neck being an extension of the spine. So if you're looking forwards at this point, you're going to be shortening the back of the neck. So lift and a tap, or we keep that leg hovered and pulse it. So nice pulling through the tummy, little squeeze through the bottom, lengthen through the crown of the head, keep the shoulders nice and open across the collarbone, and keep breathing. And we're going to keep that foot off the floor as we bring the knee to the front, rotate the ankle one way, back around the other, and we're going to lower down onto the floor. Same on the other side. So make sure you've got enough room around you. Pulling up, pulling in, keep the hips nice and level and stable. Shoulders down and back, nice and tall through the crown of the head. And we're breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let's change the direction. And last one, we can leave that foot out behind, and again we've got that little tip forwards. So we've got a straight diagonal line, and we lift and tap, or we keep that leg hovered. Try to keep the hips nice and stable. Last one, let's bring that knee to the front, rotate the ankle one way. And we go back around the other way. There you go, demonstrating my ankle there. I sometimes notice people doing this, and that's actually moving the knee. So think about working through the ankle. Lovely. Right, we're going to do our roll downs now. So we've got 3 roll downs. Again, if you have any issues with osteoporosis, this is not for you. You could do squats or even just hinges where you poke the bottom out and hinge with a straight back. So if you're trying to sit down, that's the one option. Otherwise, just take a break, and we'll see you on the mat. And then we've got a plank. So with the plank, we're going to do it for 1 minute. So you can either do it on your elbows or straight arms. Anyone with pelvic floor issues won't want to be doing the plank. So again, just wait on the mat. Otherwise, feet, knees and hips nicely lined up, nice and tall. Good pull in through the tummy. So breath in as you exhale. Let's start to round through the vertebrae. Let the arms hang nice and long and heavy, or you can walk them down your legs, or just slide the hands down the legs. Otherwise, we really want those arms to be relaxed and heavy. Come down as far as feels comfortable for you. Then we're going to take a breath in as we restack. So think about each vertebrae building back up one by one. So we're aiming for maximum flexibility through the vertebrae. Ready to go again on number 2. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. So it's just nice regular breathing. Again, let the arms hang nice and heavy and your head and neck relaxing through the upper body. Let's take a moment here while we breathe in and enjoy that lovely stretch up the back of the legs. Coming back up to standing. And then we've got our last roll down. And then we're going to go into our plank. So you can do the plank from your knees as well, is another option. So knees to elbows or knees to straightened arms. Let's just take a few moments here first, just to let those arms sway about in the shoulder socket. So we want to get some space in the socket there. So gravity is going to give you a hand there. And you can nod the head as if you're saying yes. Shake the head as if you're saying no. Just coming forwards onto the mat, into our plank position. Option 1, knees bent onto elbows, straight through the spine, lengthen through the crown of the head. Option 2, toes to elbows. Option 3, toes onto straight arms. So, Alexa, set a timer for 1 minute.
1 minute, starting now.
Let's go. Think about drawing those shoulders back away from your ears. Your neck wants to be an extension of your spine, so don't drop the head, don't look ahead either. Looking down at the mat, pull in through the tummy. Wider feet is going to be a little bit more supportive. Nice lateral breathing. Draw those shoulders away from your ears. Make sure that you're not collapsing through the shoulders. So press the mat away from you. Pull in through the tummy. Nice deep breaths. God, I don't even know if I can do a minute. Let's see if we can do a whole minute. Breathing in nice and deep. Don't sag through the bottom. Stay active. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Alexa, how much left on my timer?
Your timer is currently being delivered.
What? I couldn't hear that. Oh, it's finished. We've done the minute. Well done. Alexa, stop. So, just lean back onto your heels. As you can see, I am very professional. So, sinking back on your heels. Well done if you did the full minute. Whatever you did, well done, frankly. Let's come into a seated position. We just love the plank. We're going to do some roll downs now. So I've got a variation for those who, as I've said, shouldn't be doing this forward flexion movement. You can do a hinge back with a neutral spine, so we're not sinking into a C-shaped spine. You're keeping a nice neutral tall spine, and you can just come back as far as feels comfortable for you. Nice pulling in through the tummy. Hands parallel is another option. Hands behind the thighs. And we can lift arms, do all sorts of things like that. So while we're doing the roll back, if you have that option. So for everyone else, we're going to do the roll back. So let's start with legs straight. You can do them with legs bent if you want to. Hands are parallel. So I offer an option. If you're a regular in my classes, you will know that I often suggest you use a block behind you, about a hand's width away from your bottom. That can help you coming up. So if you know you need that option, you can set yourself up. Otherwise, let's go. Nice and neutral. And it's a breath in as you exhale. Imagine you've been punched in the belly. You pull the tummy button away. Make that C shape through the spine. So we are curling the bottom under. Let's just go halfway. It's a breath in. Keep the shoulders down and back and relaxed. Exhale. Drawing yourself back up, where we're going to go back into our neutral. Breath in. Exhale. Make that C-shaped spine. I wonder if I should do this way so you can see a bit better. So nice and neutral. Breath in. We tuck the bottom under. I'm trying to lay my vertebrae down one at a time. Nice C shape through the spine. Breath in. Exhale. Coming back up. Again to our neutral. Let's go all the way down onto the mat now. So tucking that bottom under, I'm going to lay my vertebrae down one at a time. Arms are gently going to come up and over as I lay down one by one. Then we can swoop those hands down to your side, where you're going to lift the back of the head, lift the back of the shoulders, and reach for your toes and peel yourself back up, coming back up to neutral. Let's do another 5 or 6 of these, nice and slowly, pulling in, going slowly. The slower you go, the harder it is. Make sure you're still breathing as we lift the back of the head, back of the shoulders, peeling the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Keep that lovely curve till we get to the end and we come back up nice and neutral. Is that 2 now, I think? So just working. So you've got those options. I'll just recap. One option is to hold the back of the thighs, bend the legs, and you either hinge back or you do the C-shaped spine and just do half rollbacks. If you struggle to come up, if you find that you have to sort of launch yourself to come up, then that's an indication that you're not strong enough and you maybe need to do half rollbacks for a little bit longer, build up that strength, and then move on to these rollbacks where you want to come up quite smoothly. Otherwise, you're just using momentum to do the work, which means you're not getting the benefit. Nice and neutral. Let's go. Last 2 or 3, I should think. And again, nice and slowly does it. This is an excellent exercise to build up your abdominal strength and also mobility and flexibility through the spine. Keep those heels pressing down into the floor. Let's do last 2. I love these. Another option is to the arms come over, and we keep the rib cage soft as we bring these arms up and over. Just keep those arms overhead, and as you start, you've got slightly more weight to draw up. Let's do 1 more. Come on. Loving these. Let's finish with a bit of a spine stretch. So we're reaching forwards with the arms. Keep the pelvis in neutral and just drop the head between your arms. Lovely. Let's come down onto the mat. We're going to do the 100. So thinking about our neutral spine alignment, have that cushion, towel, block under the head to help you line up through the neck so that we can bring that chin a little bit tucked in. So we've got the legs down the back of the neck. We don't need the cans, I'm just really playing with those. So with the 100, we've got a neutral pelvis. So remember, we've got the hip bones and the pubic bone want to be level on the same plane so that you have a little gap, a flat hand gap under your lower back. Rib cage soft. So nice pull up and pull in. With the 100, we have 100 arm beats. So think about the movement is coming from this shoulder joint as I do those beats. Okay, so it's not tiny little beats where there's no movement. We want movement in the shoulder joint. And then you turn to face the palm towards the ceiling as you exhale. So inhale for 5 and exhale for 5, both sides, okay? No floppy, wibbly wobbly arms or elbows, please. And while we are doing that with the arms, we've got a nice pull up and pull in. So we're nice and stable through the pelvis. Option 1 for the 100 is to have one leg in tabletop. Halfway through, you will change to the other leg. Option 2 is to have both legs in tabletop, knees above your hips. Don't bring them in, otherwise you're not really challenging your abdominals there. Option 2.5 is to have one leg extended. Try lowering it to make it harder. And then halfway through, you will change over to the other leg. Maybe lower it down. See where you can go with that. Option 3 is to have both legs extended. And again, the lower you go, the harder it is. And if you are a regular in my class and you know that you like to have the upper body lifted, you can do that for any of those options. So lots of options. Have a think. What do you want to do? I'm going to do both legs in tabletop, and I'll lift my head and shoulders to start with. I may not be able to maintain it. Breath in, exhale. So breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, halfway, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last one, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well done. Let's just have a nice full body stretch. Perfect. So we're going to do some bridging next. So bring those feet a little bit closer to your bottom. Have those hand weights handy for our second bridge. Take the block out from underneath, block or towel from underneath your head when we're doing our shoulder bridge. And a little tuck at the chin, draw those shoulders down and back. I'm just going to tuck my shirt in so that you can see the alignment a bit better maybe. So like I say, feet a little bit close to your bottom, still hip distance apart. You want to be nice and stable. And hopefully your feet are going to be parallel, so don't turn them out. A little bit of thought before we start setting up the body will go a long way. Breath in, pull up the pelvic floor, draw in through the abdominals, and we're going to start to peel the spine away from the mat. Resting those hands down by your side. So we're going to do some heel drops. So think about the rib cage being softly lined up with the front of your hips. Hands down by your side. Good squeeze through the bottom, pressing down through those heels. Place those fingertips on your hip bones. Just tuck that chin. So you can feel that they're level at the moment. Good squeeze through the bottom. We're going to take a breath in. And as you exhale, just release one side so that you drop on one side only. And then we're going to squeeze the bottom to bring your hips nice and level. And then we do the same on the other side. It's called hip drop. So we're just squeezing and releasing on one glute only, one buttock, to drop the hip. Still pressing down and squeezing on the side that is not dropping, but just relaxing on the side that we are dropping. So it's a tiny movement, nice and slowly, and to keep lifted on the side that is you're not dropping. So you do have to engage a little bit more to stay lifted as you lower on the one side. Keep sending the knees away from you. Last couple. Make sure that as you drop on the one side, you don't sort of fold in entirely through the middle. And then we're going to return the spine back down onto the mat, one vertebrae at a time. Lovely. Bring those knees in. Have a little roll side to side. Maybe roll the head as well, especially if you did head and shoulders lifted in the 100. Lovely. Back into our shoulder bridge. Ready for some arms. So I'm going to make sure that I've got enough room above me to do the arms properly. And out to the side. So, and you've got arm weights, hand weights if you want, a couple of cans or proper hand weights if you have them. Let's come back up into our shoulder bridge. So breath in, pull up, pull in, and we start to peel the spine away from the mat. Press down through the heels to really spark up those glutes, and think about the ribs staying nice and soft so we're not arching through the back. Nice line up. Send the knees away from you as you stay nice and stable with your pelvic floor and pulling the tummy button in towards the spine. So let's bring arms up towards the ceiling with our cans. For God's sake, don't drop the cans when you're in this position. And we're going to think about the shoulders, the back of the shoulders being pressed into the mat. And also your heels. So you're pressing down through your heels and through the back of your shoulders right now. And the back of your head is also quite heavy on the mat. So breath in. And we're going to reach those arms up towards the ceiling. So you're trying to draw your shoulder blades off the mat. So we're protracting and retracting. Small, small movement. Elbows don't move. Keep pressing down through your heels and squeezing through your bottom so that you don't sag in your shoulder bridge. And we're still breathing, right? Nice deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. Hello, baby. Hello, darling. Hello. So, if you don't have a cat in the way, let's bring shoulders back down into the mat. And we're going to do some marching arms. So one arm's going to go down, baby, and the other one's going to go overhead. Marching arms. All right, darling. I'm not going to lose the alignment of my bridge for you. You just have to hold on. Baby. Now sit down. Sit down, Mummy. I know, love. Right. So doing our shoulder bridges. Let's do some arm circles next. So still pressing down through those heels. Don't let the cat distract you. We're going to do some arm circles. Come on, baby love. So unprofessional. So with the arm circles, we are trying to get as much range of movement as we can. All right, baby. So nice deep breaths. Okay, you carry on. Change direction of those arm circles. Health and safety says it's too dangerous to work with a cat. For me, you carry on. Last 2 or 3 circles. And we're going to bring the arms overhead as you return your spine down onto the mat. There you go, babes. And again, hug those knees in. A bit of a release. Lovely. Now we're going to do semi-supine spine twist with a leg drop. So I'm going to show you a version where you're, for those with osteoporosis or who shouldn't be doing any twisting through the spine. So here's your variation. You're going to be working more on disassociating the hips, your legs for your pelvis. So feet are going to be flat on the floor, arms wide, and you're just going to roll the knees over to one side. Keep your pelvis on the mat, coming into the middle. Then you can do a leg drop, leg slide rather, and then a leg slide with the other leg. And then you're going to lower the knees over, keep this hip, don't let it lift. So we're just working to disassociate the movement of the legs with the pelvis. You can also do that in tabletop, which is going to be more challenging for your abdominals. And as you do a leg drop, exhale as you come away from the center. So that's if you can't do any twisting through the spine. Those that have no problems with spine or the spine, we can bring arms wide, not too high. We want them a little bit lower than the shoulders so that you can stay relaxed. I've got two options for the legs. So take a breath in. As you exhale, we bring one leg up into tabletop. And then it's a breath in, exhale, fire up the core a little bit more as you bring the second leg up to tabletop. And we've got the option to do it with legs in tabletop, or you can drop those heels towards your bottom. It's a little bit easier. So nice breath in. As you exhale, pulling in through the tummy, and we are going to twist through the spine to bring the knees over to about 10 o'clock. So in this version, we are lifting the hips off the mat. Breath in, exhale, press your lower back into the mat to come back up to 12 o'clock with the legs, with the knees. It's a breath in, exhale, one leg goes out long and low. And exhale, pull in through the tummy, second leg goes out long and low. Exhale, we bring the knees over to 2 o'clock. We're lifting that hip off the floor, so we're twisting through the spine. Breath in, exhale, lower the spine back. Knees come to 12 o'clock. Breath in, exhale. One leg goes out long and low. Inhale, exhale. The other leg goes out long and low. Stay nice and relaxed through the shoulders. Inhale, exhale. Knees together, ankles together. Bring those legs over to 10 o'clock. Shoulders stay on the mat. Breath in. Exhale, press the lower back into the mat. Inhale. Exhale. Sending one leg out long and low. Spine stays neutral. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. We go over to 2 o'clock. Breath in. Exhale. Press that lower back into the mat. Drop those heels if you need to. Try not to let that knee come forwards over your, so it's not over your hip. The last one on each side. Last one. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale to return. Excellent. Finishing up. Draw those knees in for a hug. Let's do a full body stretch as well. We're going to move on to some side lying. So we'll be using the towel or a block, whatever it is that you're using to help you with your alignment, using the back edge of the mat. Let's make sure we haven't got anything in the way before we start. So line yourself up on the back edge of the mat, use the block, the towel between your ear and your shoulder. Ankles, knees, hips on top of each other, shoulders on top of each other. Use that top edge arm just to support you. Then we're going to just draw that lower waist away from the mat as if you can post a letter through that little gap. Stay nice and active now. So pulling in through the tummy, drawing up the pelvic floor. We're going to do the torpedo. So breath in, exhale. We send those feet away and the legs will lift all by themselves. Hold it as you inhale. Exhale to lower. Inhale, exhale. So really send those legs away. Why don't we keep those legs hovered now? Inhale, exhale to lengthen as they lift. Hold it as you inhale. Exhale to lower, but hover, not rest. Breath in. Exhale. Hold it as you inhale, lower on the exhale, hover if you can. Then we're going to lay that top arm across the body. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Every time you exhale, you're pulling in a little bit deeper through the core. Make sure that top shoulder is stacked up on top of the lower shoulder. Nice long limbs. Move on the exhale. Last two. If you're too wobbly, you can put that top arm in front to support you. And lower down onto the mat. Whew. Lovely. Let's do some leg circles. So bring that top leg, the top legs, bring your feet to the front corner of the mat, and then we're just going to bend that lower leg. Top leg's going to lift, and again, nice long limbs. So we don't want sort of bendy legs or soft legs. Really straighten that leg, send it away from you. Good pull up and pull in as we do some circles. Keep the hips nice and stable. The spine stays neutral. And as we circle those hips, we want to get as much range of movement as we can. So make sure that you are drawing that leg behind you and still keeping the spine neutral. We're trying not to shrink this gap here up the side of the body. So send the leg away. So it's more about lengthening that leg as you make those circles. So we're not bringing the leg up to the ceiling, because what that's doing is you have to scrunch up the side here. So we're lengthening that leg away, keeping the circle maybe a bit lower than you would like, possibly. Keeping it slow as well. Half a circle as you breathe in, half a circle as you exhale. And let's change the direction. So long, strong limbs. Good. Pull in through the tummy, keep the hips nice and stable. You should start feeling it now. Try to keep the leg lined up so we don't drop through the hip, through the ankle. So nice, strong limb. Last one. Yeah, I felt that. So, a little rub with the hip, pat, well done hip, well done. Let's change to the other side. So, nice straight line. Again, you've got the option of having your arm underneath you, straight underneath you, or you can bend the elbow and use it as a kind of pillow. But what we don't want is that arm coming forwards and then you lay your head on it forwards and you've got sort of poor posture. So elbow, arm straight or bent so that you can use it as a pillow. Anyway, drawing that lower waist away from the mat, nice long legs. We're going to do torpedo. So breath in, stay active now through the waist. As you send those feet away from you, nice straight, strong legs. Hold it while you inhale. And exhale to lower down onto the mat. So we're going to build up the options as we did on the other side. Try to do the same on both sides of the body so we're nice and balanced. So inhale, exhale, we lift and lengthen those legs. Hold it as you inhale. And then this time we could maybe just have them hovering instead of resting as you inhale. And exhale, we send them away again, they lengthen and lift. Inhale and exhale. The hips stay nice and level. We don't collapse onto the mat through the waist as we're lifting. So keep that little gap. And again, why don't we try that top arm across the body? So we're hovering with the legs, top arm across the body. Nice, strong control through the center here. That's the key to this. Breath in, exhale. We pull up and pull in. Nice and strong in the center. Lower to hover, or you can rest. I'll let you. As long as you are working at your level, that's all I can ask. Last couple. Remember, we hold it while we inhale and we move on the exhale. Last one. And resting down. We'll bring those feet to the front edge, bend that lower leg. Top leg comes to hip height. And again, nice pull in through the tummy. Don't let those hips roll about. Think about hips still stacked on top of each other. And we'll do some circles. So again, sending that nice long limb away from you. Keeping it nice and stable through the hips. Pulling in through the tummy. Try to bring that leg behind you without losing your neutral spine. Let's change direction. Last one. Lovely. Let's bring those knees in. We'll do some work lying on our fronts now. So we're going to do a swan dive, which is a good one for strengthening your upper mid-back, shoulder blades, the muscles around the shoulder blades. So we will start with the block, the towel underneath your forehead so that you're not squashing your face into the mat. Arms are going to be 90 degrees at the shoulder, 90 degrees at the elbow. And with your head in the middle, it's like you're making a capital E shape or a W, depending on how you can see it. So draw those shoulders down and back away from your ears. So we're going to keep forearms on the mat to start with. Nice pull up and pull in. So really strong through that center as you exhale and lengthen through the crown of the head. You come up onto your sternum. So it's not a big lift. Keep looking down at the mat. Elbows are relaxed. Breath in. Exhale to lower. So a little bit of a squeeze through the bottom as you exhale. Lift and lengthen through the crown of the head. You shouldn't feel any discomfort in your lower back. If you are, there's either two things. You're either trying to come up too high. So this is too high. I'm really squeezing here. It's painful. So just lower that down. Think about length through the spine more than anything. And the other reason that you might be feeling that discomfort is that you're not engaging through your powerhouse strong enough. So really pull that belly button away from the mat. I want you to imagine that you've got a drawing pin under your belly. So really exhale to pull it away from the mat. Lift and lengthen. We're going to make it a little bit difficult now, a little bit harder for you. So breath in, exhale, nice strong center as we lift the arms and the upper body all at the same time. Inhale, exhale to lower. Try to keep the feet relaxed on the floor. They might be involved a little bit trying to counterbalance, but their involvement should be minimal. Breath in, exhale, we can lower. So keep working with the breath. Exhale, we lift. We're going to add another challenge now. So inhale at the top here. Exhale, reaching those arms overhead. Inhale, we draw those arms and shoulders back. Exhale to lower. Ready to inhale and go again. Exhale, nice and strong in the center. Hold it while you inhale. Exhale, let's extend those arms. Inhale, we draw the shoulders back. It's like folding some wings behind you. Exhale to lower. With those arms, I often see we draw the arms back, and I often see that we kind of keep the elbows in tight. I want the elbows to be out at 90. So as we lift, it's like you're a big fork. Exhale to extend. Inhale, we fold those arms back, and then we come back to that 90-90, and then lower. Let's do last couple. Remember, good strong center is going to protect your lower back. Don't come too high. Last one. Exhale. Hold it as you inhale. Exhale, we lengthen. Inhale, we draw back. Exhale, we lower.
Sorry, I haven't learned to do that yet, but I'll make a note of your request.
That was Alexa. That's scary. Right. We're going to do some heel beats now. So we can just use our hands underneath your forehead. It's probably more comfortable. So with heel beats, we do what I call duck feet, and then you point your toes. So duck feet is you're trying to bring your toes to your shin. So you are lengthening and pushing through your heels as we click those heels together. And then when we point those toes like a ballerina. So duck feet is like that with your heels. And then you point. Okay? So relaxing the upper body. A really good squeeze through the bottom. Pull up and pull in. And we're going to send those feet away so that they lengthen. We're lifting the thighs off the mat as well. Good squeeze through the bottom. Duck feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Point. 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And relax. We're going to do another 2 sets. So really important, you get a good squeeze through the bottom and you lengthen those legs away so the front of your thighs lift away from the mat. So when you're ready, squeeze through the bottom. We're going to send those feet away, duck feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, point, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Ooh, and relax. Last one. So squeeze through the bottom. Let's lift and lengthen those legs. Duck feet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20. Point, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Ooh, and relax. Well done. We're just going to come up onto all fours. Just thinking about pressing the mat away, tucking your bottom under, letting the head hang between your elbows, and just pressing your spine up towards the ceiling in our angry cat pose. Taking breaths in. And I'm going to go into cow. So drop the belly, lift the tail. Keep looking down at the mat as you draw those shoulders back away from your ears. And we're going to go back into our angry cat. So drop the head, lift through the waist, and back into cow. Let's find a neutral spine. We're going to walk those hands around to one side. And we're going to walk those hands around to the other side. Back to the middle. Thread the needle next, so we draw the arm across the body, lower the shoulder, reach through the gap. Back to the center, same on the other side. Open up those knees, keep the toes together. Bring the hands forward, you can place your forearms on the mat as you just sink onto your heels. Lengthen through the spine. Coming back onto all fours, we're just going to do one last roll up to standing. So we pop those toes under, walk the hands back, straighten up those legs, restack through the vertebrae one at a time, coming back up to standing. Whew, nice deep breath in. Reach those arms up towards the ceiling as you press the hips forward. And give yourselves a clap. Thank you very much. Tomorrow is going to be no live session. I've got a class that I'm doing instead over the internet. So the next mixed ability Pilates will be Wednesday morning. But you can do any of the videos that I've already done. You can repeat this one. Just keep doing it, okay? Because you know it makes sense. All right. Thank you very much for joining me. See you Wednesday if I don't see you before. Take it easy.